Sales. Quote for you, deep thought: if it's not quantifiable, it's not reliable. You have metrics for everything that you want to manage. So even though I'm kind of a weird, zany guy, you better know that I'm going to check my emails and I'm going to monitor. If you don't have 100 calls a day and you work for me, you are out, Steve. You're not working for me. 100 calls a day, baby. Got to do that, okay? If that's your goal, now if you're somebody who's starting out and your life goal is taking to 32 calls a day, I'm going to hold you to 32 calls a day. Whatever your goal is, I'm going to hold you to that. It's quantifiable. I want to know how many appointments did you set? How many deals did you close? Metrics every single day. Some of us, what we're doing is we're not following up with our sales guy until the end of the month, until the end of the week, until the end of the... I talked to some of you guys last night about it, but it's called the huddle effect, okay? But if you play football, who here played football? Anybody here watch football? Anybody know what football is? Okay, so football. All right, what you do with football is every single play, they huddle. And those of you, anybody here been in a huddle before where you played? Okay, when you're in a huddle, what kind of deep thoughts do we have?
You're sort of talking about your emotional feelings.
I respect you as a person that block. Okay, no, but what are you talking about?
Well, no, you're talking about how, as you were saying last night, you didn't fall through on your block, just make sure you stick with this, and do your job, because you don't do your job.
So what I'm going to tell you guys is in your calendar, I would do a thing called the 4 o'clock follow-up. I would huddle up. If I'm a manager and I have 4 direct reports, I'm huddled with my 4 every day at 4. You know it's coming, hell or high water, good or bad, it's coming. No false kindness. I'm going to give you the truth and the stuff you don't like. It's coming together at the same time. Good stuff, bad stuff, all real. So we huddle up and I say, hey, okay, how many calls did you make today? And you're like, I'm at 72. Well, 72 is a little bit short of 100, so you got to make like 28 the next hour or stay longer. How else are we doing? I closed the deal. Awesome. Closed the deal. Good job. Anything else? What objections are you guys running into? Oh man, this lady said this to me. This said this to me. Okay. And all of a sudden, we put you know what I'm saying? It's the huddle. You meet with your team every day to discuss those things. Because if not, if you do it, it's kind of like steering a boat. I'm not a big boating guy, but if you just turned on the boat and just let it run, you'd probably not get across the lake. You know what I mean? But if you just do micro little turns, because there's waves and winds and there's wind, and you got to just micro correct. That's how the business should be for sales. You got to micro correct. And sometimes what we do is we get a big idea at a conference like this. We try to implement it, and then we don't follow up every day. It's got to be a daily huddle with your team. Okay? Now, some specifics here is, one, how does your product or service solve your client's problems in a unique way? I would encourage you to go home tonight or on the plane or whatever, and write down, what are all the unique ways? Stop telling me how you solve it like everybody else, in a unique way. In a unique way. Real estate. We all have an MLS license, right? MLS, my MLS. I'm your agent. Look at me, I have a glamour shot on my card. That's what we do in real estate. Everyone has a glamour shot. We all have an MLS license, and we're all like, I've been doing this for 22 years. I've been doing this for 12 years. That's what real estate is, right? So you figure out, how do you do it? So you make some crazy claim. You say, we do it through innovative, we deliver results through innovative technology. Here are the 7 ways. One, we make you top in Google. Your house will be top in Google. More people than anybody will find you. 2, we offer a 3, we do a 4, we do. Does that make sense? But how do you solve their problem in a unique way? The next question is, why is your product or service better than your competition? You can't dance around it. You got to know why you're better. In that space, why are you better? Not why we're competitive, why we're the best. It freaked me out if I'm trying to do business with you or you, and I'm like, so are you guys the best? Or are you guys pretty good? And you're like, we're competitive. I don't want to be competitive. I want you to be the best. Does that make sense? I mean, think about your college sports team. Aren't we all delusional fans of our college sports team? Some of us didn't even graduate from the school, but we have all the sweatshirts and we scream at the TV like it matters, for affecting the outcome of the game. And we're like, OSU is the best. Minnesota's the best. Texas University, that's the best. You got to be that kind of passion with your product. How are you the best? The next thing is, how can you prove your claims? Puffery, it's not going to work. Now, I love the question here. He talked about the necessity here, and I want to pick on it because it's a great question. A lot of times people they get these marketing ideas, and you're like, oh, I love these marketing ideas, I'm a big purple cow. You have to prove it though, right? I mean, you can't just make a claim, you have to prove it. That's why PR is awesome. We are the best, as seen in Forbes magazine, right? Or we are the best. Let me email you 5 testimonials. All of our salespeople, what they do is they say, hey, no matter what product we're doing, hey, I tell you what, I'm going to set an appointment, we're going to talk tomorrow at 2 o'clock. But in the meantime, I'm going to email you 5 testimonials for 5 deals we just closed in the last year. We delivered the service, we took care of people. I want you to call them and get their feedback, so you can hear from their perspective what they liked about our service. I like you to call it. That's part of our, right? So once you set the appointment, there's that 72-hour window where the person who agreed to the appointment is kind of losing faith. You guys know what I'm talking about? I call it the 72-hour rule. But based on the time that I commit to an appointment from the time we meet, I'm starting to lose emotion. Does that happen? You guys seen that? The buying emotion dissipates no matter what you're selling. So what I do is I want to set up a methodical system where as soon as we agree to set the appointment, I'm going to email you an email today with references, and then tomorrow another group of references. So that when we meet in 3 days, you're amped. Your buying emotion went up, not down over that time period. Does that make sense? But you have to prove it. If you don't prove it, people don't believe it. It's craziness. Okay? The next thing for you is read Soft Selling in a Hard World. That book is phenomenal. Soft Selling in a Hard World. And it basically is my guidebook. Warren Buffett, there's a guy named Professor Graham, and Warren Buffett uses Professor Graham's book as an index. You know, he references. This book is phenomenal. It's not a book you sit down and read and go, "Oh, this book is just nurturing my soul." No. You read this book and you go, "Oh, okay. We're dealing with this objection over here. This is how we're going to solve it. Oh, okay. I'm dealing with this kind of rebuttal. This is how I fix it." You start to build your systems. Okay. Much deeper discussion than right now, but this is a book you need to read.